you all and welcome in to the Impact Powersports studio. It is the Eric St. Show podcast, underway, rolling. Not happy with that camera angle. I'm going to do this all again because I suck. Daily show where I describe news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week. All right. Yeah, shit's getting weird around here. All it takes is one little issue, like I was describing on my little preview, because I'm starting late today by 20 minutes because, whatever, something bad on the technology front. So I reached out to my pals over at Blue Frost IT. I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure my external hard drive is just not behaving well. Darla smashed into the little spot where I have it, and it tumbled to the floor. My mistake. So I don't dare even look at it because, and I don't even know what's causing what. I really couldn't tell you. But everything on this damn tech setup has gotten what was lightning fast is now slow in 1997. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I am absolutely dependent on lightning fast responses whenever I hit a function on this IT setup. And so I'm like, fuck, this is seriously, this is a problem. When it starts to eat into my time like that, I'm like, no way. Mike says, is it a solid state drive or a disk? It's a solid state drive, but it's old. It's got a ton of memory in it. And I've probably only used like a third of it, of the space in it, because it's like a terabyte or something like that, which is just an ungodly amount of space. But it, like I said, it's probably 5-6 years old, so I went ahead and got a new one. I ordered a new one, and then I'm going to do a data transfer of everything that's on that one onto the new one. What I noticed is, I mean, my God, the new one that's going to arrive tomorrow is, oh, fuck, it is super thin, super small, and 4 times the capacity. 4 terabytes. Now, if in 5 years of podcasting, I've used up a quarter of what I have on it, that means that the one that I purchased yesterday for like $100, I don't think I'll ever need another one again, unless if Darla eats it. And remarkably improved in structure, how it's built, and capacity. I mean, I'm coming up on 5 years of podcasting. I've 1,203 shows as of today. So, my God, I mean, how much longer do you think I'll do this? Let's say I go another 15 years. I'm still going to have plenty of space on that fucking thing that I just bought. What's going to happen at some point when I hang up my headphones? You know, there's going to be all this equipment here with all of this audio. Now, in my mind, my family's going to be like, oh, this is precious archived material of our sweet father. Okay, let's say I go 15 more years. That would be another 1,203 shows times 3. Okay, so let's just do 1,203 times 4. When I'm ready to hang it up, it would be at my 4,812th show. It's amazing. I needed a calculator to do that. So 4,812 shows. And I go, oh, God, this is precious material of Dad. At 2 hours a show. That's 9,624 hours of me talking into this microphone. Divided by 24. That's 401 straight days. Let's sit around for 24 hours a day, Jim, Jack, Maddie, and listen to Dad for 401 straight days. Oh, my God. They're just going to take it and throw it away. When I was growing up, there was some archive footage of me with my dad and my mom and my brothers. Real movies, like they would shoot on like a Super 8 camera or whatever the fuck. And I remember when I was a kid growing up, Dad would put the movie onto the projector and we would watch home movies that didn't have sound. And I would kill to have that material right now. And this is why, this is one of the things about divorce that's really a bummer, because something happened along the way. I think my mom, I know when my mom and dad split, was super pissed. Okay. If you were to get your hands on photo albums that were in my mom's possession after my mom and dad got divorced, she went ahead and removed the pictures from the photo albums and with scissors cut my dad out of them and then put them back in the thing. Or she would rip the photo, like rip him out when she was really pissed off. Instead of a nice clean cut, she would just rip it out. If there's imagery of any of my family members on my dad's side, like my aunt or my grandma on my dad's side, she ripped that fucking thing out. I'm like, oh my God. She was pissed. I don't fault her. I mean, God knows what that must have felt like. So I'm reasonably sure she had like a bonfire of old picture scraps, clothes, and any type of belongings of my dad's, and video video. What do you call it? Movies, home movies. Not really, but they did vanish from the face of the earth. And I would occasionally wander when I grew up. I'm older. I decided I need to go ahead and try to find these videos. So I'd wander down in the basement of the house that I grew up in, and I'm trying to find them. And I never got up the energy, the courage to say, "Hey, Mom, some videos of Dad." Man, I tell you what, this poor woman was so jilted. If you ever want to see somebody a mood go from, she could be having a great day, my dearly departed mother, and all you had to do was say his name. And she's like, oh my God. Now, a lot of you probably have seen pictures of my dad and I together. And, there's a real, there's a resemblance. I look like a younger version of my dad. That might have something to do with occasionally, Mom would want to beat my ass. And God, I don't blame her. I think actually in this picture that you're seeing right now, he looks younger than I do. Holy shit. That man, my sweet dad, will be with us in 30 minutes for yet another edition of Dear Meathead. So I want you to send a question along, eric@ericzaneshow.com, for whatever you want to ask Dad about. All right. Amy says, when I was a teen, I cut my dad out of a bunch of pictures back in the day. Yeah, that's the shit that you do when you're pissed. And then whenever you do something that you're pissed about, you always look back and go, God. I guess maybe not. It depends on how long you stay pissed off for. Amanda says, I try to keep everything. Only thing I'm pissed I don't have is the videotape of the birth of my daughter, taken from my perspective, of course. She says, that's gone. That's a bummer. So, like you said, from your perspective, does that mean, like, while Mariah is, joining us here in the world, from the cozy confines of your womb, from your perspective, does that mean you were like, you had a video camera on your arm and the doctor's going, push, breathe, and you're going, hey, Brian, get out of my van. Amanda has clarified, and her words, no vag. Now, is that no vag or no, not from my shoulder, from my vag? I'm not clear. I was assuming it was from, like, when you said your perspective, from, like, your eyes, you can see the doctors, like, birthing the child. I didn't suspect it was actually imagery of your reproductive organs all dilated and the head of your child flying through your hoo-ha. Amanda says, no, it was dumb shit's mom at my shoulder. Now, that's what I suspected. But the only thing I wasn't sure of is if you were the one actually shooting the video. I was going to say, if you were the person holding the video camera, and it was probably an old school camera at the time, that would have been fantastically strong if you're shooting the video. Thank God, though, that they didn't take... I wonder if that's ever happened. Like a mom and dad were like, okay, we want the birth of our child, but we want you to shoot video of the business end. I was just talking with one of my family members about old videos, and we have a lot of old videos. And I've talked about this before. I genuinely don't really seek those out and try to watch them. I have I get a desperate, anxious feeling, and it makes me very sad when I watch video of different stages of my kid's life, or me, more so my kid's life, when I see them when they're little kids. I don't know why. I guess if I walked into a room and Diana was watching those or something like that, which doesn't happen, but if it did, I would watch it. But I just get a sense that maybe the passage of time and age and my mortality, it just wrecks me. It just cuts right to the bone every time. So I genuinely and generally do not watch those. I've got stacks and stacks of tape. Amanda says that her best friend did do a camera shot of the business end of the birthing. Talk about never wanting to have a kid again. I actually think on a science level, like seeing the birthing of a child is quite outstanding, especially if you're the type of person, like some people are really into like Dr. Pimple Popper, and something about those videos people like. They use the word, it's satisfying to see this big mass of infection come flying out of a hole in someone's skin, and then the gaping bullet wound that's there after Dr. Pimple Popper has done her thing. Now, I can't do that. That is not my thing. But I would think that people who do that would like watch a video of a baby flying out of the baby maker and go, yeah, oh my God, that's awesome. Maureen says, I got to see my middle son's birth. As you know, Maureen is a mother of blacks. She adopted her children. I refer to my buddy Jimmy as Uncle of Blacks because his nephew and niece are African American. So I refer to him as Uncle of Blacks, and he refers to me as Father of Gay. Maureen is also a mother of blacks. She says it was so amazing, and then his birth mom let me cut the cord. Incredible. Aram says, the worst is a home video with the song Memories from the play Cats in the background. Oh, you're not kidding. Or it's and then Amanda says, Aram, it's called Memory. Okay, great. Brandis says, I had a friend going to school to be a midwife who also took a handful of pics from the business end while I was birthing my daughter just as her head was coming out. Yeesh. Maureen says, actually a mother of biracials, actually. 2 out of 3 sons. Well, you're going to have to take that up with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is known as a black quarterback, but his mother is white and his father is black. So Patrick Mahomes' mother essentially coined the term mother of blacks. I don't hear Patrick Mahomes' mother saying Patrick Mahomes is biracial. We're all biracial, but black is cooler. You need to embrace the blackness there, Maureen. I don't understand this comment. Amy, these are Amy's words. Now, there's got to be some reason. I mean, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Amy says, a mother of blacks? Oh, my. Mo, you are a saint to roll with all that. What the fuck are you talking about? What you talking about, Amy? Are you implying that black people are harder to raise than white people? Please clarify. Amanda says something that I don't agree with. Obviously a joke. She says, yeah, Maureen, it gives you the privilege of being able to say the N-word. If you know, you know. Chris says, mine is weird because my dad is that tough guy. But in the video, I'm about 6 months old, and he's using that baby talk voice. Maureen says, I am a mother of 3 sons. I don't care what color they are. Well, I know. I didn't imply that you didn't. I was just using that as a joke. I was trying to establish background for audience members. Linda says she doesn't want to be like that dickhead's mom. Rebecca says, my son is biracial. In America's eyes, he is black. Honestly, what it boils down to, I think, is what traits are the ones that give the outward appearance. Like my wife, when she was dating the guy, that black dude, Adam, back in the day, if they had kids and the kid came out ginger-haired, boy, that would have made a hell of an interesting child. That guy was as black as this cell phone case or my hoodie that I'm wearing. And Diana, who Irish redhead, is the fairest of the fair. That might have been one. She might have had one of those redheaded albino kids that can't go out in the sun or can't go out at night. They just have to stay in all the time. Or maybe it's some type of superpower. Rebecca is married to an African American gentleman. His name is Kevin. He's super sweet. Amy clarifies. She says, "No, I meant it like she's rolling with your funny comment." That's better. That's what I suspected. I couldn't. You see, I just read into stuff poorly. You would never say anything. There is not a single bit of your essence, one iota of your soul, that would ever even suggest that there would be anything silly like that. It's absolutely not possible. I quoted Maureen earlier, and I said, "I am a mother of 3 sons. I don't care what color they are." Maureen clarified. She says, "I didn't say it in that tone, silly." All right. I got a doozy of a kick in the head when I was laying in bed last night. I made the mistake. Sometimes I do this. I just ask for it. Occasionally, my confidence wanes, and I'm like, all right, what I've been doing for almost 5 years sucks. Everybody hates it. You're a failure. I'm talking to myself. Why don't you fuck off for being so shitty? And then I will get confirmation on that exact thing. Now, a couple weeks ago, after publishing another edition of Who Are These Free Beers, which was an absolutely outrageous romp and a glorious success, or I made some comment. It was after Greg was gaslighting Kelly. Someone on the Free Beer and Hot Wings subreddit, which, seriously, I'm banned, and they're not supposed to talk about me on that. A lot of those folks on there hate me, but in this particular thread, it was kind of mixed. There was plenty of people who were saying, "No, you're getting it all wrong," because people were bashing me over dogging free beer or dogging their show, which is a target-rich environment these days. I mean, seriously, I get so much material out of that show. And so someone asked, why does Zane even do this? Why does he talk about this? And truth be told, A, it's fun. B, I make money. And that's pretty much it. Okay? It's Ben and I have a great time. Ben and I reviewing one of those shows is like a highlight of our week. And a lot of what we do on there, we get tipped off that something weird happened or something stupid or pointless or not funny or not well thought out or not executed or awkward or something like that comes from their subreddit. Their audience pissed off about this thing or that thing. That kind of gets our ears perked up and we go, all right, let's check that out. Okay, yeah, that was crazy. They talked for 30 minutes about a candle recall. Or they talked for 25 minutes about how to load the dishwasher. These are all actual things that have happened on that show that when I say them, it sounds like I'm just making this up and that didn't really happen. But these are actual moments that happened on the show. There was the one about, hey, guys, let's break it down. What are we talking about today? Well, I've got a series of Yelp reviews on our national parks. And the big problem with that show is that someone is saying, hey, let's do this. This is a great segment. I know we're going to have fun reading Yelp reviews from our national parks. Just saying that is more entertaining than the entire segment. How would you feel if on my show I said to you, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's time for me to break down some Yelp reviews on the national parks. and I read you shit that people wrote about our national parks, you would hate me. The 3 or 4 dozen people that pay attention to me live every day it'd be zero. You wouldn't give a shit. Holy fuck. Dave says, easy, I'd say you belong on public radio if you did that. That is formerly known as Mediocrity Dave. Changes his name to Public Radio Dave. Mike in Massachusetts says, I'm just saying I've been looking forward to being off this week so I can finally watch this live. Glad you're here, Mike. Molly, 39351, says, how long have you been streaming? Must be a new person. Welcome. I am going on 5 years of doing my show. Not all of it on Twitch, though. Probably like, this is my 3rd year on Twitch, I would think. Borculo Josh says, is this always choppy live? Don't know. I don't know if you're the only one. That's the first thing I've heard about that today. Aram asks, I don't understand how anyone could ask the question of why he does a show mocking their show. Like, how does anybody ask that, hey, why does Eric do a show mocking their show? Are they seriously asking that question or just starting a discussion? Well, people don't like it that I do that. And they get upset at that. Molly says, I am new from Tyler Glenn's raid a few weeks ago. Oh, my God. One of my favorite people on the planet, that Tyler Glenn. Love that man. In beautiful Winnipeg, Manitoba. Well, anyway, the reason why I brought this up is because I'm laying in bed and these two hit me right between the eyes. Like I said, I'm a sensitive idiot who I shouldn't be looking at this. Okay? I mean, I've been doing this long enough now that I should be able to process that, hey, you're going to be able to do this until you just quit or die. You could seriously do this forever. You have a product that is brand new every day because it's different thoughts coming through your brain, leaving your mouth, going into the microphone, and for some fucking reason, enough people pay attention that you can make a living doing it. Congrats. Now, get over it, Eric, and understand that no matter what the big bad people on the internet say about you, it's going to be fine. Quit being such a pussy all the time when you read these things and let them get into your head. So I read these two last night. I did the exact opposite. They get into my head and I'm like, oh, fuck, shit. Try to fall asleep, get frustrated. Time passes. I wake up here and I'm like, why was I even bothered by these assholes? This guy writes, first of all, D. Squarius Green Jr. is a name I do recognize as a regular listener of this show, and he was contributing to that post about why does EZ make fun of free beer and hot wings. I mean, why? How come he can't get over it? D. Squarius writes, EZ has his own podcast now. It's pretty good and more akin to what I'm putting the tone in. It's pretty good and more akin to what the old Free Beer and Hot Wings show used to be like. I listen to it instead of Free Beer and Hot Wings now. Now, whenever I see that someone suggests that, I don't think they mean like how it sounds, because when you're a one-man show, monologuing for however long I do every day, comparing to an ensemble cast, there is no comparison. You can't say, I mean, it's completely different. So I guess I would need a little bit more clarification as to what D. Squarius Green Jr. means. But it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that if he had to choose between one show or the other, he's picking mine. So that's all I care about. This guy follows up, and this dude, I recognize the name. has hated me forever. He writes, Zane's listeners always claiming, quote, his podcast is what the show used to be, unquote, is hilarious to me. Now this is funny, actually. I actually find this funny now. I'm less hurt, more laughing. Only in the sense that Zane gets confused and flies off the handle and calls people bitch. Otherwise, it's an old man alone in an attic getting distracted by his dogs while he tells boring stories about grocery shopping and working 6 jobs. It's nothing like the show in its heyday. Now, wait a minute now. Let me just say, if I am telling a story about grocery shopping, something interesting better come out of that story. And if I am talking about working 6 jobs, again, something interesting has to come out of that. Perhaps that what that guy is saying is actually what the previous guy was suggesting about, like, it's the old show, because that's all I did when I was on that show. Oh, my God, you won't believe what happened to me at the store. Oh, my God, you won't believe what I ran into. Holy shit, I couldn't believe what I saw. That's always been my bread and butter. And then this asshole, so that asshole says that, and then this asshole follows up and says, yeah, I agree. I had heard this take enough times about EZ's show reminding them of Free Beer and Hot Wings before he left. So I heard that enough that I gave his show an honest listen. And I'm reading that and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm such a fucking simpleton. Maybe this guy's going to love me. That's where my brain goes. I am an absolute Neanderthal when it comes to emotions. Here she follows up, I've been listening to Free Beer and Hot Wings since 2008, so it was exciting to hear Zane capture that old feel, according to some, even though he was easily my least favorite of the old show. The idea that his new show, or this show, is like how their show used to be couldn't be further from the truth. It's nothing like the old show because there's no one there to balance out Zane's crotchety, angry, and offensive, just to be offensive demeanor. So instead, it just sounds like an 8th grade locker room with one vehemently jealous dick who can't shut up about his ex. It's honestly and objectively terrible. So I'm fucking reading that, and I'm like, oh, fucking dick. I actually was able to go to sleep, okay? It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not that much of a pussy. But I was like, God damn it. And I wake up today, and I see it again, and I go, now it's funny. Now I can actually roll with it. Mike writes this. I was just thinking this yesterday. I listened to the Patreon segment, Something to Listen to While I'm Away. And the old show, when you were on it, more closely fits that format than the current Free Beer and Hot Wings. Okay. My show now more closely fits old Free Beer and Hot Wings. That's what you were thinking? That's interesting. Aram says, I think they mean that Eric Zane sounds the same as he used to, while all the other cast members from the old show sound worse than they used to. He might be meaning that. Chris says, fuck them if they can't take a joke. Public Radio Dave says, it's pretty sad when Bob and Tom, which they used to make fun of, become more outrageous than Free Beer and Hot Wings, but I'd still rather be here than listen to either one of them. Thank you. You know, sometimes my weak brain needs those affirmations. I am an absolute disaster. There's no question. My ego is very fragile, juvenile to some degree, not that mature. And so that means a lot when I see that. So thank you. All right. I am 4 minutes away from Dad for Dear Meathead, and I have a lot of work to do before I can bring him in. First off, for those of you watching on Facebook, X, and YouTube, I must send you on your way. Thank you so much. Follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Tomorrow I will feature another edition of Something to Listen to While I'm away because I will be traveling. In fact, after today, you won't have a fresh show until Tuesday. What with New Year's Day on Monday. All right. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate you on Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can go to Twitch and get the rest of the show live. There's still plenty more show, including Dear Meathead. So download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, and you can check out the rest of the show.